Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Big storm system riding from the Gulf over into the Atlantic. We're going to be seeing this over the next day or so. Will it develop into a subtropical system, as I've been saying? Most likely not at all. But with that said, there's still that very slight chance, and it is going to bring a lot of rain moving through parts of Florida, down into Cuba, over toward the Bahamas, and then it is going to strengthen as it kind of works its way up toward Bermuda and the Atlantic region of Canada. You see the tail end of it right there with the heavier rain. Parts of Florida just about to clip by Cuba, mainly north of the Caribbean. And then we're watching out for some spotty showers elsewhere. Broader picture, you see this storm system here. Now, as it works its way into the Bahamas today, there'll be some heavier rain, some gusty winds at times, and then it'll work its way right up toward Bermuda and the Atlantic region of Canada. I'll zoom down, and I want to show you the winds in this, the circulation of the winds, plus the rain totals and the wave heights. We'll cover that. A couple other systems, one Ontario over toward Quebec, and another one moving into parts of British Columbia and the northwestern parts of the United States. I'll show you that in a second. Now, here's the broad picture. This is a behind-the-scenes look at the European model, and it tries to find where there's the possibility of a subtropical storm developing. Right in through here, as this area moves to Bermuda and lifts up toward the Atlantic region of Canada, but we're looking at about a 5, maybe 10% chance. It's not going to get a name. I don't believe this will be a named system, but very unusual for this time of year. So let's start wide. A couple things going on. Again, of course, watching this right on top of Florida, and you see that rain later in the day near Cuba, western Cuba, and the northern Bahamas, watching over toward Freeport and New Providence. And then we've got this bigger system rolling in over toward little system here, Ontario and Quebec, and then a bigger system rolling in again, Pacific Northwest of the United States. That kind of sets the stage of what we're seeing. So that's today. Let's go out in time. Tomorrow, the heavier rain shifts right over toward the Bahamas, northern and central Bahamas. Really heavy rain back through Cuba. In the tail end of this, clipping by the Cayman Islands, right back into Belize, in Honduras, with that chance of some scattered showers on the tail end of it. The heaviest stuff, though, Bahamas, and then working into Bermuda. Once we get later in the day tomorrow, the rain's only going to pick up further in Bermuda. The top part of this, that's where there's going to be a little bit more of a circulation. You see through the day tomorrow, Bermuda, by tomorrow evening, some heavier rain. And again, this stretches all the way down at this point into the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, near Haiti and the Dominican Republic with spotty showers. And then the energy from this lifts up toward the Atlantic region of Canada, which I'll zoom down to in a second. But look how long this is. It scrapes right by through parts of Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands by the time we get into Wednesday. And then we'll be watching a little system here coming out of the Great Lakes, and then we'll keep an eye on another system that will approach the west coast of the United States. We'll get into that further as we get deeper into the week. All right, here's the broad picture with the winds. Kilometers an hour and miles per hour on your screen to keep everyone covered. Here's that little circulation, not a tight circulation. It's not a compact circulation. So kind of that broad storm system coming out of the Gulf and then flipping right over into the Atlantic side. So at times some gustier winds across Florida and the Bahamas. But once we get into the Bahamas and then over toward Bermuda, that's when the winds are really going to pick up as we work our way into tomorrow. See this little circulation right in through here. So at times clipping by the Bahamas, we're going to have some of the winds gusting to about 30, maybe 40 miles per hour, so over 50, maybe over 60 kilometers an hour. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, look at the white showing up. So as we get over toward Bermuda, we're going to have some winds gusting to about 50 miles per hour or 80 kilometers an hour. So not only are we going to see a lot of rain tomorrow moving into Bermuda, but there will be those stronger winds with it. Nothing we can't handle, but some stronger winds. And then as this gets into the open waters of the Atlantic, look at the red showing up. In the open waters of the Atlantic, some of the winds around 70 miles per hour or 110 kilometers an hour, but clipping by the Avalon Peninsula, this is on Wednesday with some stronger winds. There could be some gusts over 50 miles per hour, over 80 kilometers an hour in the Avalon Peninsula and Newfoundland as a whole. Even some of the gusts could get upwards of about 90, maybe 100 kilometers an hour. So some of the gusts could hit about 60 miles per hour right along the coastal sections of Newfoundland. You get the idea of how big of a storm system this is. Now let me start here and then work to the north, and I'll show you the storm system by Bermuda and by Canada. Today, a couple little spotty showers, Barbados, St. Lucia, but here's that rain, Florida, working its way right into parts of the Bahamas, and then some scattered showers anywhere from the Cayman Islands and then back through the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, Belize, and Honduras. Now, this is tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, some scattered showers near the Cayman Islands, not as much Jamaica, but there's the heavier rain, central and western Cuba, right up through the Bahamas, and then by the time we get into late tomorrow, just some scattered showers, southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, may get a couple near Jamaica and the eastern side of Cuba. Then as we work our way into Wednesday, you see a couple of these showers here with the system. Again, the heaviest energy up to the north at this point, but British, U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, even Haiti, we could get a couple showers out of this. And then this is Wednesday evening. Much of it kind of diminishes. Just a spotty shower will be a possibility. All right, here's the northern end of this. So here's Florida back through the Bahamas. Look at this heavy rain that is going to be around. Those brighter colors are telling me we're going to see some amounts, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. I'll cover those totals in just a second, but by tomorrow, here's Bermuda. Here's the really heavy rain, and I mentioned those winds too. Not only are we going to see the rain working in, but the winds that will be gusty at times, and then this lifts right up to the north, clipping by Prince Edward Island. So you get over toward Cape Breton and then over toward parts of Nova Scotia. Not as much New Brunswick. New Brunswick will get some snow. Heaviest action, though, Newfoundland, with mainly rain. Backside of it, some snow trying to wedge in. This is Wednesday afternoon. There's the Avalon Peninsula. So we're talking about really heavy rain at times, a cold rain, and those stronger winds that I mentioned. This is Wednesday afternoon, and then deeper into Wednesday night, everything starts to push offshore. Now, here's the wide picture. Look how the seas build with all of that. Here's meters here, feet here, keeping everyone covered once again. So as we get into tomorrow, right here's Bermuda, right here, you can see the seas building and then really building as this area works up Wednesday with the seas around 5 meters, pushing 20 feet in spots. And then, of course, as this cranks up into the extreme North Atlantic, very dangerous seas up there in the North Atlantic as we work our way into Thursday. You see how everything really gets elevated with this area moving in. All right, let's talk about some of the rain. Parts of Florida back through the Bahamas. Look at this white showing up. That's 4 inches of rain or 100 millimeters of rain. A few spots, there's a little bit of a black shading showing up in spots. That could be over 4 inches of rain, up to 6 inches of rain. It's going to be raining all day in some of these spots, and that's why we'll see some of those higher rain totals back through the northern and central Bahamas, pushing 100 millimeters of rain. Tail end of it, you see central Cuba maybe trying to get over an inch of rain, over 25 millimeters of rain, and then just lesser amounts elsewhere. Jamaica will get a passing shower. A few showers, though, anywhere from Haiti back through the Cayman Islands, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and then not as much as we just crank our way around the Horn, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Grenada. Rain chance stays low, so even if we get some totals, they'd be small amounts up through Dominica, watching Barbados and St. Lucia, same thing, Guyana, Suriname. Scattered showers possible, a little bit more Honduras, Belize, parts of the Yucatan Peninsula, just with the tail end of this front, may get a few spots around 10 millimeters of rain, a little bit more, not as much Mexico City, but there's that rain that's coming right out of the Gulf and then working across Florida into the Bahamas. Mentioned those totals just a moment ago. So we get a look in Jamaica, mainly dry today, but as this action pushes by, about a 40% chance of a shower tomorrow, but up to a 50% chance tomorrow. Heaviest rain would be to the north back toward Cuba, but Cayman Islands, we're looking at about a 50% chance of scattered showers tomorrow, 20 to 30% chance Trinidad and Tobago, 20 to 30% chance in Barbados. Now, if we get back through St. Lucia, tomorrow rain chance a little higher, not a washout, but about a 40% chance of a shower. Just isolated the next few days, Grenada, back through St. Vincent the Grenadines, 20, maybe 30% chance of a shower, 30% chance through Martinique, a 30% chance the next couple of days in Dominica. Rain chance holding at 30% in Guadeloupe through midweek, and just a 20% chance Antigua, Barbuda. A lot of sunshine around, 20 to 30% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat. And we're mainly dry today in Anguilla and St. Bart's. Rain chance 30% the next 2 days, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, and just a 20% chance in Puerto Rico. By midweek, though, with this front to the north, kind of scraping by, chance of a few more showers. Same thing, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. And then we work our way through the Bahamas, of course, the rain increasing today, northern Bahamas, and then tomorrow, northern and central Bahamas. Heavy rain is on the way, even some localized flooding in some spots. Turks and Caicos, 40% chance tomorrow and Wednesday, up to a 40% chance on Wednesday in the Dominican Republic. You see the rain chance getting a little higher with that front and that storm system kind of scooting by to the north. Rain chance does bump up a bit in Haiti. We'll be at a 30 to 40% chance tomorrow and Wednesday. Belize, scattered showers, storm system to the north, but that front scraping by. Just a 20% chance. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, the rain chance is staying relatively low through the middle of the week. 30 to 40% chance in Guyana, running at about a 30% chance in Suriname, so it's down from the last few weeks. And again, moving across Cuba, western and central sections, the best chance of getting some rain. Rain chance stays at 30%. Costa Rica and Panama, 30 to 40% chance in Nicaragua. It does bump up tomorrow, though, in Honduras with the tail end of the front, about a 50% chance, 30 to 40% chance, Guatemala and El Salvador. Mainly dry as we get back through Mexico City. 30 to 40% chance, Yucatan Peninsula favoring the eastern side over toward Cozumel and Cancun. 20 to 30% chance in northern Colombia building this week. 30% chance in northern sections of Venezuela. And of course, the rain about to move in a big way through Bermuda. Bermuda, we could get some totals around 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain. So this large area of rain on the move. Keep an eye out for some subtropical formation, but not seeing that as likely. Heavy rain moving into the Bahamas, lifting right up toward Bermuda, and then new fronts back to the west as we go throughout the week. So thank you for subscribing. Have a great day ahead.